My wife admitted to baby trapping me with 3 kids, but I don't care. I'm still leaving. So my wife, 32 female, and I, 34 male, have been together for 8 years. We have a little girl, 5 female, and a baby boy, 2 male. I love both of them more than anything. And I finally feel like I have it all. A beautiful wife, 2 healthy kids, a great career, and a big house. The token American dream. When we talked about kids before, my wife always said she wanted 2. I only wanted 1. It would be easier and we'd have more money for vacations and stuff, but my wife maintained it's important for a child to have a sibling.
That feels fair. And he loves both of them.
Yeah.
You would think he would come around. Oh, I've got these 2 darling little doll-faced thinky butts.
Doll-faced thinky butts. I grew up with 4 and my wife with none. So I guess I understand where she's coming from. After our son and getting through the baby years and sleepless nights for the second time, I did not want to go through it all again.
No more children!
Both kids were fussy and colicky. I don't know what that means. But when he was a year old, my wife casually began mentioning, what if we got a 3rd kid?
We just went to the store and got another one.
Let's get another kid.
Shop around, see what we like.
I would laugh it off, but finally she sat me down and said, we have to have a 3rd child. I said no. What would be a reason?
To have a 3rd one because she finds purpose in motherhood. It brings her the most joy she's ever experienced. And would he dare deprive her of that gift?
Crazy girlfriend alert. We agreed on 2, but she said she wanted 4 and 3 was the compromise. I refused and said I wanted to have 1, but we had 2. She got angry and called me selfish for taking away her dream of wanting a big family.
This is what I'm talking about.
A couple days later, she apologized and we had sex.
Man didn't realize that maybe he should put a bag on it this time.
I noticed her drive increased exponentially, but so did mine, and I was happy to engage with her. She was on birth control. I had a condom. I thought we were all good.
Double duty over here.
Thinking back on it, I probably should have figured out that something was up. I came home from work one day while the kids were at their grandparents', and my wife showed me a positive pregnancy test, literally dancing with joy. What do you think the wife did?
Poked a hole and went off of her birth control.
You just came to that answer way too quick, and it's really making me
What
nervous.
else? What else could it have been?
That's why pulling out is the only method, boys.
It's the only safe way.
Only safe way.
When we're condoning pull-out sex as the safest sex.
My first thought was, oh. My wife noticed my less than happy expression on my face and started screaming at me. She berated me for not being supportive and that this was a miracle from God and I should be grateful. I said I was sorry and hugged her and said I was super excited for the baby.
Lying, just straight up lying, but
gaslighting.
Listen,
bro.
Happy wife, happy life. That's what they say.
My wife was delighted, and later that night, she was calling all family and friends to happily tell them the news. When she was talking about the nursery and how we'll convert my office into a room, I started getting a little suspicious. Everything was so well thought out. And it seemed like she'd been planning it all this time. Suspicious. Ooh. When she was asleep, I took the condoms out of the cupboard and ran them underwater.
Holes. That's not cool.
I nabbed her phone and saw she'd set a password on it, which was odd. Nevertheless, my wife has a terrible memory, so I tried her birthday and it opened. Further up were texts with her best friend of my wife complaining how I wouldn't come around. Her best friend suggested that I arrange an accident. My wife agreed and said it was great to arrange an accident and that she was going to come off birth control. It went on for a little while, ending with my wife saying yes, we were going to have a 3rd. So I woke her up immediately and asked her if this had really been a miracle baby. She got the deer in the headlights look and burst into tears. She wailed and then got angry. Through tears, she screamed I had no right to go through her phone. And it's her choice whether or not she wants to take birth control. The side effects are bad and she was sick. She also brought up if I really didn't want a 3rd kid, I would have had a vasectomy.
This is crazy. You're supposed to have these conversations together. If birth control is making you sick, talk to your partner about it. Then you go off of it. Then he would probably choose to get a vasectomy.
I mean, it's absolutely like she's gaslighting him to the max. She's like,
oh, for sure.
My God.
Yeah. How dare you look through my phone after I poked holes in the condoms?
She told me to go sleep on the couch. I laughed out loud and said, no, I'm sleeping here. You're leaving. So while wailing, she packed a bag and left to her parents. When she called the next day, I told her I need some time to myself. She said, that's fine, but I need to come around for our child. I told her I wasn't sure if it'd be our child, and she cried more. It's been 2 weeks since then. Government recommended to stay home, and I knew staying home by myself while also working with the 2 kids would not be ideal, and she wanted to see the kids. So we're in the same house. She constantly keeps on stopping me and trying to get me excited for our kid and planning the nursery names and whatever. I've been ignoring her entirely. What do I do? Staying home with her is bad enough, and I don't know if I should leave her over this. I don't trust her anymore. She betrayed it. I'm angry, but I have another child on the way. Is this a big enough breach of trust to end the relationship?
I don't think that you will necessarily have a happy relationship unless you're both willing to put in the work. Maybe you both decide, okay, this actually, given the children, it matters so much to me. Hey, we realized we both weren't communicating well with one another.
But she has to admit that.
Yeah, they both have to decide that, but maybe she would. Who knows?
I think he is well within his rights to get a divorce. Like in terms
Definitely
of,
not the.
But there is an update.
Ooh, tell me more.
Sam, we talk about a lot of really hard situations on this podcast.
Oh, baby, the hardest.
And Sam, that's not the only thing that we need hard in this world.
Fellas, if you're trying to play a little game of hide the zucchini and you want that zucchini to be nice, firm, and strong, I think you're going to want to hear about our next sponsor.
We are working with Blue Chew, ladies and gentlemen. Blue Chew tablets. It is the best option to get your wiener stiff.
And you might be like, oh, I don't need it. But hey, you never know until you try. You could already be Arnold Schwarzenegger, but what if you were Superman? What if you were Tom Brady throwing spirals every freaking day in the bedroom?
That's right, guys. Blue Chew wants you to have better sex.
And I do too, personally.
We want your dongs rock hard. Discover all your options at bluechew.com. Just chew it and do it, baby.
And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew free when you use our promo code OKOP at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. I'm like free, like actually free. That's bluechew.com, promo code OKOP to receive your first month free.
Come on.
Visit bluechew.com for more details and important safety information. And I just want to thank Blue Chew one more time for sponsoring this podcast and making the hard things hard and our life easy.
Oh, yes. Back to the episode.
So the wife is still at home. I'm going out of my mind. Kids don't understand what's happening and keep asking why I won't talk to mommy. It's been close to a month since then, and I've been following the advice I saw. I lied and said I was going for a drive. She tried to come along, but it's a 2-person limit per car, and she needs to look after the kids. I called my dad's best friend. She's a lawyer and told her everything. I screenshotted the text and sent them to myself, and at nighttime, I asked her to talk and pressed my phone on record and asked her why she did it, and she went on about completing our family and how we needed a 3rd kid. And she knows I'll love them more than anything when they're born. She apologized profusely as well. And she told me she knew she hadn't gone about it the right way and she should have accepted it. And I'm within my rights to do what I want, but please stay for the kid. And now that it's on the way, we can take it positively. Anyway, that brings us to today.
It sounds like she just wants to brush the whole thing under the rug. Like, but you're going to love it so much.
I'm back on civil terms with my wife, and I've started acting like everything's okay between us. She's happy. The kids are happy and excited for their new sibling. Everything's going great, except for the divorce that I've planned behind her back.
No.
I've got the evidence. I've got the lawyer, and I'm preparing to present her the papers. I talked to the lawyer about how it's going to go because of quarantine and what technology is being used. Online documents and video conferencing, this thing called ADR, Alternative Dispute Resolution. So that's pretty much it. I've got all my ducks in a row, and my wife doesn't know a thing.
I feel bad for the little kids.
Kind of feel bad for the kids.
I feel bad for the kids, yeah.
Because they're excited for their
exactly.
new sibling.
They're happy mommy and daddy are talking again.
It does suck, but but just remember, it's not him that broke up the family. Like
Will the
lied.
kids understand that? Like,
I don't know if they
point-
will. I mean, I don't know if they will, and I honestly
How do you explain the whole situation to them? Like, yeah, there's these things called condoms. You can poke holes in them. And there's this thing called birth control. And, like, bees and the birds talk happening very early in this family.
Yeah, dude. It's definitely a complicated one. But let us know, is OP the a-hole? What do you think? Put it in the comments below. And Ariana, is he the a-hole for leaving?
No.
No, not at all. All right. We'll see you in the next one.